everyone, Tyler here for Run Route Recon KC, and it is time for the second race in the Heartland 39.3 series, the Rock the Parkway Half Marathon. Love it or hate it, this race truly is a classic in KC distance racing. From memory, only a few times has this route ever changed, and for good reason. This half marathon runs along some historic roads in Kansas City, Missouri. Of course, before we get started, the disclaimers: this preview is for the 2023 route, though final course details are always subject to change by race organizers. This preview is based off of the posted course map on the race official website, though I highly doubt it's going to change. For all the final details on and around race weekends, such as packet pickup and race start times, visit the official race website, which will be linked in the video description. I will also include a GPX file of this route also in the video description. Also, while you're here, please sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really does help out. Also, check out our socials. We are on Instagram and Twitter, both at Run Route Recon KC, and of course our website is always kept up to date, even though our socials are not. RunRouteReconKC.com. Unfortunately, no training video with this one, as I decided to bike the route instead of running. Mostly did that for the sake of safety, because this route runs on some really otherwise busy roads. So even 7:30 in the morning was quite busy, so I decided to stick with the bike and not go on foot. But enough chatting, let's go ahead and get on to the course. First, starting off with the basic race information, this route starts and finishes at Burns and McDonald on Ward Parkway. They are a longtime supporter of the race, so thank you very much for that. It is, of course, a timed event. Age group awards for roughly every 5 years after age 20. There are finishers medals for everybody, both 5K and half marathon, and they are usually absolutely gorgeous medals, and I think they are this year as well too. Charity partner is Children's Mercy Hospital, so a really great beneficiary. Race starts, we have 7:30 for the half marathon, 7:50 for the 5K. That is just enough time to get the half marathon waves out of the way. Sometimes that 5K does end up starting a little bit late, a little bit after 7:50, so make sure to pay attention to the race announcements approaching start time. Like I said, for the half marathon, there are wave starts. For the half, sub 135 runners will be in the elite wave, or wave AA, and then waves A through G will start about every 1 minute thereafter. So if you are running in wave G, you'll start approximately 6 or 7 minutes after that 7:30 initial start time. This is an extremely well-attended event every single year. It is an absolute local favorite. Nearly 2,300 runners finished last year, the fastest runner finishing in 1:07:06, which is roughly the same first place time year over year. It's usually between 1:05 and 1:10. There's a time limit for this course. You have to be able to finish the half marathon in 3.5 hours. That's roughly a 16-minute per mile pace. In addition to the half marathon, there were also 1,400 5K finishers as well too. So this is really popular for both distances. The fastest runner for the 5K finished in a blazing 16:09. No dogs on course due to the size of the race and the fact that it's running on local roads. As far as I know, for strollers, they are not allowed for the half marathon, although I don't believe that is explicitly stated, but there are strollers allowed for the 5K, and that is explicitly stated. Just make sure that you stage yourself towards the back of the start corral. Now, specifics into the course itself. The half marathon is not the most difficult in the world, although not necessarily the easiest. We have 425 feet of overall elevation gain throughout the 13.1 mile course. No real significant hills or climbs that will be noted, at least in the video, though to keep in mind the first 2 miles, really kind of 1.5 miles, honestly, is mostly uphill. Also, the sections around Loose Park are a little bit hilly as well too. Again, no significant hills per se, but it will wear on the legs about halfway through the half marathon. This also means, on the flip side, that the last mile and a half is almost completely downhill, so it is a really fast finish. 5K a little bit more difficult, especially since it features those early hills, about 115 feet of elevation gain overall, so about average, I would say, for 5Ks in the area. And then terrain, of course, this is running on all local roads, so it's blacktop throughout, maybe some concrete patches here and there and some chip seal. And then as far as the sections of the course itself, which I will be highlighting in the video, I break this down into 4 essential sections. So we have Ward Parkway northbound for about 8 kilometers, 5 miles or so, and then you turn east into the Country Club neighborhood, which is just south of Loose Park, for about 1.5 miles. Then you run around Loose Park for about 1.5 miles, and then there's a long southbound stretch along Ward Parkway for about 8K, 5 miles once again. So with that said, let's go ahead and get to the starting line. Again, we're going to break this rating into two, half for the scenery or setting, or half for the difficulty and challenge of the race. The race experience itself, again, though not part of the rating, is amazing. This is such a popular race. It'll probably be one of the more popular, if not the most popular half marathon that you will come around in the local KC area. It truly is an absolute KC classic. It runs along some really historic KC roads and through historic KC neighborhoods. You also see some really historic fountains on the northbound and southbound routes along Ward Parkway. So I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. I really think it's a fun route. Some individuals don't like the fact that it's essentially an A-B-A run, so you run out and you pretty much run back along the same routes, but you're really not running the same roads, honestly. Ward Parkway, if you're familiar with it, is divided by a median, so you're going to be on the right side of that median all throughout the course, so you're going to see different things on the way back inbound that you are going to see on the way outbound. At least that's the way I kind of feel like it is. As for the challenge itself, on paper, this isn't really much of a challenging race, though it does feel just as challenging in some parts, especially that first 5K, compared to, say, something like Liberty Half Marathon. But it does have a mostly downhill and really, really wickedly fast final 1.5 miles. This honestly is not a terrible PR option, especially since most of the uphill sections are early on in the course. And then finally, weather is often mild, though one year we did actually have rain. We always seem to get lucky with the weather every year. I feel like probably I'm jinxing it by saying that, but honestly right now the current forecast is pretty much the same exact forecast we've had the last several years, except for the one year that it was moved to August. We are looking at lower 40s and sunny at the start, and then if you are about a 1.5 to 2 hour finisher of the half marathon, we're looking at mid to upper 50s for the finish, and sunny again at that finish line. So really, really ideal weather. But again, this is a spring in the Midwest, so entirely unpredictable. Something to kind of just keep in mind as you're racing anytime in the Kansas City area. And that's it. Now it's time to hear from you yet again. Let me know your thoughts if you have run this race before or if it's your first time racing. And of course, again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see everybody at the starting line.